Hi everyone, and welcome to Rooting Around. I'm going to keep this one brief. I'm just going to show quickly how to connect to a Cisco switch using a laptop so that you can run commands from the CLI. So you'll see here on my workbench, we've got the Cisco switch, and one of the other most important parts is a console cable. Now in the past, the console cable used to use a serial connection. On most switches now, the console cable is a mini USB. I'll leave a link down below to where you can get one of those pretty cheap on Amazon. Less commonly used with other devices now, so keep an eye out when you have one and make sure you hold on to it. So I'm just going to connect that to the port here, and I'm going to connect it to my desktop machine, which is just down the side. Okay, so I've gone through what's on my workbench. I'm now going to switch over to my desktop machine, and here I'll download PuTTY, which is the piece of software that we use to connect to the switch. So I'll search PuTTY download. I'm going to click on this one here. So I'm going to click here to download. Okay, cool. That's it downloaded already. I'm just going to double click that and run through the install wizard. I'll leave a link to PuTTY so that you can download it from the site that I've just used. And I'm just going to run through the install steps here as well. So I'm just going to fire next, and I'll just wait for this to install. It requires admin privileges, so you need to make sure that you either own the computer or you know the admin credentials to be able to install it. Cool. I'm going to not open the README file. So now that we've gone through the installation for PuTTY, I'm just going to open up the application. And this is the first window that we're presented with. In here, what we would normally do is use the IP address of the switch if it was on our network, and then we'd be able to connect to the switch remotely using its IP address. In this case, we're actually going to use the serial connection. And you'll see in this box here, it defaults to COM1. I'm not sure yet which COM port I've connected it to on my desktop machine. So I'm going to type in device manager and open up the window here. And what I'm looking for is this ports and then specifically this COM section. So I'm going to open that up, and my guess is that the USB serial device is COM3. So I'm just going to change that one to a number 3 there. This will change depending on which port you're plugged into on your machine. So if I was plugged into a different USB port, it would actually show as maybe COM4 or COM5. So it's really important to check in Device Manager which port it's on. I'm then going to click Open, and it opens a PuTTY terminal window, and you can see my first command come up. I'm just going to hit Enter here, and it's going to go through auto configuration, which I'm going to say no to, and you can see here that it's brought up my first line command for the switch. This is where I can enter my commands. So if I wanted to go into a privileged mode, I can just put in the command en, and now you see that the arrow has changed to a hashtag, and I'm now able to run commands from here. Thanks for watching, everyone. As I say, I'm going to keep this one brief, and I'm going to save using some of the commands that I've been learning in the CLI for some of the next videos that are coming up. So stay tuned.